Hello, so this is a recording of me showing you how to do kind of a pseudo loop utilizing the camera that is inside of the cubic fractal plugin that you get with LaForge Suite by Production Crate. I'm going to go ahead just as usual and start with a solid, and doesn't matter what color. We're going to add the effect here. It's Production Crate 3D Cubic Fractal. Okay, so there it is. So this by default is going to show you this just moving forward through. And what we're going to do is we're going to change it to another one. And we can actually go back to default, which is really fun because, you know, it's not really moving now. But we have a camera. We're going to animate the camera. It's set for some reason to negative 5,333.3. I don't know why, but that's the way it is. And we can go ahead and just keyframe that and then make the end. It could be anywhere, really. We'll make it a 10-second loop. Can we actually manipulate it so it does 10? Almost. Alright, we'll just go here and do 10. 10. No. That's 0.1 seconds. 10 seconds and 0. Alright, and we're going to bring the work area, hold down shift, and it will lock into where the whatever this doohickey's called, slider thing, marker, I guess. So we got a 10-second clip, and we're going to go ahead and add a keyframe here for 0, and what that's going to do is it's going to travel forward until it hits 0. And that's all nice. Actually, just to show how this works, you're going to go ahead and change it up to, we'll go to 15. We'll change this to 15, and this is a experience to show something here. So we changed it to 15. Okay, now we want to bring the work area. Don't grab the whole thing. Oh no, what happened? I grabbed the whole thing. Control Z, and then just very intricately grab that baby and bring it past it, and then hold down shift and bring it back, and it will lock in. Now we have a 15-second. But our keyframe that we made at 10 seconds is all the way down here. We can grab that keyframe and drop that while holding shift onto the end of the sequence. So that's a nice little trick here. Here, and here. I didn't mean I apologize. What I meant to say was absolutely nothing. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and if you notice the position over there is going down. Well, it's actually going up because it starts negative. And it's going up to 0. And then it's going to hang out there. It's going to stop. So this will not loop as is because of the way that the fog works. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you opening up scene fog. As it increases, it gets further away from 0. Didn't mean again. But you can put that fog as far as you want, as close as you want. It will darken the rest of the scene, but that's okay. You can play with the other settings to manipulate that. And what we're going to do is open up the camera again. We're going to twiddle down the transform. Another fun thing to play with is the Z rotation. If you, well, we'll do that. Now let's show that too. So we're going to go ahead and keyframe the Z rotation, go to the end, and we're going to just do one rotation. So this first number is number of rotations, and this is the number of degrees. As it goes to 360, it'll go up to another number on the left side there. So 1x. So it is now a moving forward spinning doohickey. It's spinning kind of quick because we only have 15 seconds, so it's going through all 360 degrees. We could probably deal with just 180 and keep a loop. Sure, yeah, why not? No, not 180 times. Let's see how fast that goes. Yeah, that is fun, isn't it? That's not what we want. Unless you want it, you might want that. Uh, yeah, it's kind of crazy chaotic. So this Z rotation, again, let's go back, and we're not going to do that. We're going to do 0 and then 180 degrees, not 180 times. So that's going to go a bit slower, and it's still going to end up in a pretty similar position. Now, the lighting's not the same. The geometry will be the same, but the lighting will not be the same. But that really doesn't matter for what we're showing here. What we're showing is utilizing a pseudo loop technique. So we go to camera options. We're at the first frame. Take this zoom down from the number that it's on to just 1. And it's going to be just hyperspeed traveling through space. Yeah, if you kept it like that, that could be an effect you want, but not right here. I'm going to go ahead and pop that, and then we're going to go ahead, we just drop the keyframe on the first second, and I don't know, 1.5 seconds-ish. We're going to bring that up, maybe up a little more. Right, and so what that looks like is this very rapid zoom in, so it's like zoom, and then it stabilizes, and then it's going to continue until about equivalent of what it is here at the beginning. Doesn't have to be accurate, but we're going to go ahead and Control C rather, copy, and paste that keyframe. So what that's going to do is this keyframe is locked in between those 2 points. And then we're going to go to the end, and we're going to copy this first keyframe. So it's going to have this zoom, and then it's going to go do its little spin, and then zoop, and it's going to slurp on out. And as it slurps out, the next frame is going to be this one, which is going to be very similar to the last frame. There's still going to be a little bit of a hiccup or noticeable flicker, but not nearly as much as if it was just a hard cut. And it's fun. It kind of reminds me of like going into hyperspeed at the beginning and the end. So it's like whoosh, we come in and it's like, whoa, we're going through. It's like, and we're going out, and then it loops back. We're going back in. And you can play with this part. So if you had most of the actual like zippity doodah parts are right here at the end. And so if you layer that over something else that fades in, you just have the opacity change underneath, and or rather over, and it goes from 0 opacity, or rather 100 opacity to 0 opacity as it's doing this, and then have something else coming in that can create a nice little transition. And yeah, so let's see what that looks like if we were to. We're going to go ahead and pre-compose this. I'm going to go ahead and Control-Shift-D. And we want to select both the camera and the black solid. Control-Shift-D, and then get rid of those. So now we've got just the length here. And then you can go ahead and pre-compose, adjust composition duration to the time span of the selected layers. and that's going to keep it at its current length. And then Control D, and we're going to drag this out here so we can just see what this looks like when we have it up close. So just to play it, it's going to go, and then we're back in. And just to play it again, so now that it's pre-rendered, it's still chugging a little bit. Now, you can get the picture. It's kind of like a quick little vlippity vloom blah. And that's going to be a nice way of pseudo looping. And you can be doing a lot of other things, changing a lot of other settings in here, as long as you end it with this camera flourish, and end it and begin it with that camera flourish. You can create a pretty interesting effect and/or transition. So it'll loop into itself, or you can put something else that has a similar connective tissue. If it also has the camera animation in that same way, it will create some fun pseudo